Hello, everyone. Let me make sure that you can hear me and I'm not just blabbing to myself. How are you guys? It's been a little bit crazy here lately. Um, yeah, hi. So it's been a little bit crazy here lately. In Israel, here in that place. Um, Things were a little bit crazy and I tried to post about it and show pictures and stuff, and YouTube decided that it is a little bit too much for YouTube to show the reality of what is happening. Therefore I cannot show it to you guys. However, we're going to have this nice chat about whatever, trying to be happy and peaceful and spread love, especially in this time of Ramadan, which I think we all need to take a deep breath and just pray things will be like smoothly and nothing bad will happen in this Ramadan. Hi guys. You don't need to spam the chat. I do see your comments, so there's like no need to do that. um yeah, I wanted to of course, to show people here. I'm gonna let you guys introduce and meet each other, because after all we are a community and I want us all to get to know each other and to make sure this is a community. This is not just me blabbing about my country and your country and our relationship, and without without your part like you learning and also educating me about your country, because I really believe this is what make our relationship different than all those like I said in my Instagram, from all those geopolitical people who has no humanity in them. And if you want to see what I'm talking about, you can go to the how to my Instagram, same username. By the way, if you want to go and see like the reality of what happened in Israel and stuff, because I'm filming my morning walks, and like a lot of things there, so you can just go and watch my Instagram, same username, and like apparently, Instagram is okay with showing reality, a little, like they're not restricted as much as YouTube, because on here this platform it is absolutely insane. And the fact that I cannot show you guys, like I'm not showing you horror stuff, or like, and by the way, this is crazy that I saw so many horror movies and stuff in this in on YouTube, and I cannot show like things that are actually happening in reality. However, the fact that I cannot show you what is actually happening in my country is weird and not okay. And it's kind of funny because I just saw YouTuber, some famous YouTuber, he made like a short that is like this. Someone is saying, if the Kashmir files is really important, why would they not like just upload it to YouTube to let everyone see it for free? And I just like, and he gave like different like different options of like why. And I was just like, I like wanted to comment it. Like the first thing I wanted to comment is just like, because YouTube will delete it so fast. Like there's no way the Kashmir files will be able to be seen on YouTube, at least not from like the entire thing. Even if this is not like a documentary that is like has exactly everything, like there's no way the Kashmir files will be able to be uploaded and like and stay. Um which is weird because the silence of swastika is still a thing here, and I guess I don't know why YouTube algorithm is okay with the word swastika, even if on YouTube, like the YouTube algorithm is not looking at swastika from the Hindu point of view. They're looking at more from the the Nazis point of view, how the Nazis stole and used the word swastika and used that symbol, and they're cool with that. However, they're not cool with, the Kashmir files and actual reality violence, which is problematic, at least for me. Yeah. Anyway, like I said, I wanted to talk to you guys and to educate you guys. Let's see, someone is asked, what is Ramadan seen in Israel? Well, remember, Israel, especially Jerusalem, is one of the holiest places for the three monotheistic religions. So it is big here, and it's crazy because there are a lot of Arab. I'm sorry, there's a lot of Muslim citizens here, who are able to celebrate freely, um, as long as they're not hurting anyone. um, but I cannot honestly say that that some people are not hurting anyone. Yeah. Okay. So let's see. I wanna invite you guys to join the live stream and be able to also take part in here. So let's see. If you want to join, you can click the link above on the pinned message, and I will do my best try to upload and to let you guys be part of it if you want. If not, I'm here to just blab about what is happening in my life. I'm assuming you mostly care, but um terrorist vibes and stuff. um I'm trying to think, like, what can I tell you that you're not already familiar with, and what you already like know or may not know. I don't know if you're aware, but Naftali Bennett, our prime minister, got COVID. So I think this is why he's playing, like, his flight to Baharat got canceled, at least for now. Hope he's going to like be there soon, and I can see all the, like, I really want to see what he is going to do, and how he is going to what he is his plan. When Naftali Bennett is like, when Bibi Netanyahu was there, we knew exactly what he was going to do, why he came there, and stuff. But Naftali Bennett is just like, no one knows what's going to happen. So this is why I'm kind of excited about it. I'm kind of nervous about it. I really hope they're not going to cause, some diplomatic problems between our countries. However, like I said several times, this will not, like, this is why I'm talking about geopolitical and stuff like this. This will not affect the relationship the citizens have, because the citizens were friends way before all those geopolitical things happened, before you guys were cool with us. Something you haven't been for a while, but it is okay. um yeah. Anyway, let's see what else. If you have any questions or anything, feel free to write in the chat. If not, I'm totally cool doing it like a chill, light thing of me just bobbing to the camera, because I just finished work. I came home and I'm like super tired. However, like, I realized I haven't made this live streamer stuff for in a while, and I just wanted, to do this because I really believe the community part is what's really important, and it is super important to have this communication. Yeah. Anyway, let's see if anyone of the people who joined it want to be. Anyway, if you see the chat, the link in the top of the chat, you can link there, and then join this live stream and introduce yourself and be part of this community. Um, Rezan Galad, you're where I'm talking to you. Wave to the camera if you are where I'm talking to you. Great. One, two, three. Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine, but I cannot really hear you. Can you maybe um either speak louder or change the audio or whatever?
Can you listen to me now?
Yeah, it's a little bit quiet. I'm gonna higher it up on my end. Yes, how are you?
I'm fine, sir. How are you?
Great.
So, what are you doing these days?
I Everything I'm
What's
doing, most of the things I'm doing, you can see on my Instagram account, so it's all like out there to see. Do you wanna? What do you wanna talk about? Do you wanna explain how did you celebrate your New Year? If you are a Hindu, I'm sorry for like assuming your religion and your way of life
Yeah,
or something.
I'm a
Okay,
Hindu.
do you wanna? So,
Yeah.
how was it
Just
2 days ago?
it was awesome.
Hmm.
One thing that was amazing was that actually I would like to thank you as well, cause for something uh,
Okay.
when I was quite young, at that time people generally don't used to celebrate the Hindu New Year. They used to celebrate the British New Year kind of. So, but with time, when like the people have started to talk about Hinduism and Hindu rituals that have been quite like diminished over a period of time or forgotten, or they don't appear that much cool. But with time, as people have started to talk about, people like you especially, there has been a sense of development of this thing about this thing that about these practices. And so it was a nice quite it was interesting for me because a few of my friends wished me that happy new year, and I was like wondering that it's quite new. We don't generally, we have forgotten to do it lately. So it is nice, like it starts with it was kind of better than the actual new year that we celebrate here, cause in it it's kind of like a show off kind of thing, the new year that we celebrate generally in 1st of January. But here, you wake up, you prepare, or you dress up, you prepare, you go to the temple,
Hold on, hold
there.
on, hold on. Everything you are saying right now, I'm not familiar with. I am Jewish, so please,
Okay.
like baby step, explain to me what are you doing in that day?
Okay. So, in every place there is a different way to celebrate it, because according to the culture of place, and India is quite diverse. I can say that every 21 kilometer in India, the tradition to do a particular, festivity is quite different. So I come from Uttarakhand, so it's a hilly area. So we celebrate in, you can say, the Gadwali style. So here, what we do is in the morning, first of all, we wake up, and uh, there are certain things, small small things. I would also elaborate them. So the actual in our traditions, what there is every morning when you wake up as a practitioner of Hinduism, there is a particular hymn that you need to that the elders used to speak. A hymn that elders generally used to speak. It is like this. It's in Sanskrit. It says. समुद्रवसने देवी पर्वत अस्तन मंडले विष्णु पत्नी नमस्तुभ्यम पादस्पर्शम क्षमस्व me. It means that it's actually about the country, the India. It says, its translation in English is that the mother that is crowned by the Himalayas on her head and is wearing the attire of Indian Ocean. So forgive me today for waking up and stepping upon you. So the meaning of the hymn is that, and it is actually so pretty to know that our ancestors, you know, who made this hymn, it's so wonderful. So in our culture, what we do is we wake up, and the elders generally wake up quite early at 4 a.m. Uh, we generally wake up at 6, 7, or some those who play late night, so they wake up at 9, 10.
On your
So
holy day, when I have a holy day, when and we need to go to pray at the synagogue, I am like it taken me time to wake up. Like 6 a.m. No, absolutely not. Like if you tell me you need to wake up in 6 a.m., I already know me and my parents are about to have a fight about why I'm not waking up. Like
we too
6
are
a.m.,
quite
dude.
lazy here as well. So, whichever time you wake up, if you wake up late, you just go there, and the elders prepare a puja thali. It's called. It consists of the incense and the lamp and all that, and we go to temple. There is a puja. In puja, we pray to God for a better future, happiness. The most important thing, obviously, being the happiness and peace in the family as well as in the world. And those who wake late, they just go there, put their, take blessings, and the day is okay. But for those who participate, they perform in the ceremony, the puja. Then in the day, like for example in our place, there is in the villages, it is like there is a gathering, community gathering, all people come together, and there is a feast, you can say, a kind of feast. In normal households, there is like family gatherings, you can say, like you can say your family relatives, they come and you prepare food and you eat it together, and that's how it goes by. And in since a long period of time, it has generally been quite forgotten, people don't celebrate that much. But with time, things are being changed, and it's quite good, very good, I can say, that these things are coming up. And actually, in these like for in my place, these things are quite very very people have, the elderly people especially have a quite very sentimental about these things, because they haven't they have been brave enough to maintain their own culture identity, unlike the youth, for example the present generation, which have been prone to a quite of western thoughts, western ideas here and there, so they are quite actually in their own world perhaps. But the elderly people are very sentimental, and it's good. So this has changed quite a lot since in the present times, that the festivals which have been lost, the traditions which have been lost, they're a bit gaining ground, and that is good. It's quite joyous. uh, what about you? What are you doing these days?
I think this is something very very important to talk about, especially because like this is why our way of life are so interesting combined, because I speak Hebrew, and Hebrew is a language that, like, I'm always saying, if we're gonna go to a time machine and it's gonna set us 500 years back, I will still be able to speak freely with my people 500 years ago. And if it's going to take us 8,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago, I will also be able to speak my language to my people, because we really preserve our language and our history and our beliefs. And yes, some things, like you said, some things, traditions, things got lost in the way. And there are people who, it's cooler to think like the Westerns and stuff like this. And some people are forgetting who they are. Some people are creating an entire new, way of life inside this. Like there's so many sub religions in this culture and in this religion. However, I really think that this is like one of the things that was so interesting to me to study about Baharat in the beginning, because I said, okay, this is also an ancient civilizations. They've been practicing the same things for such a long time, and this is something I feel we have in common. However, as much as this is different, um, yeah, go
Can I
ahead.
say? Can I
Yeah,
say?
of course.
Actually, like there has it since the uh, my country today is not like geographically it's a particular location, but the concept of India is not geographical, it's cultural. And that's why you can see that in places like Indonesia, in Thailand, there are particular Hindus monuments, or you can say stones and architecture you see there. So but with and that time India was quite humongous. Like for example, the Afghanistan of today, it never used to be the Afghanistan. It was carved out. It was carved out like a
Yeah,
separate it
countries,
separate.
countries are changing, but yeah.
So but the concept of India is quite culture, and the thing is that a lot of a part of history has been destroyed by continuous invasions. For example, the university, Nalanda, you would have heard of it. It When the invaders came, like Bakhtiyar Khilji, he came, he was an invader, he destroyed and burnt it. So it is said that it burned for 7 weeks. There was so much of knowledge and scriptural knowledge, all those things there, which we can never find, which is lost in time. So we never know what was in it. So in this way, a lot of knowledge has been kind of swaying away, and a lot of knowledge has been manipulated. But the at present, if I talk about, the problem is that, like as you also say, that why not Sanskrit, why not regain Sanskrit, why not speak in Sanskrit? The problem
Yeah,
of
I'm
it is,
always telling people like you should study Sanskrit before you go and tell me I'm studying this and that. I was like, learn who you are, before you try to be someone, because if you don't know who you are, like what's the point?
The problem of it is that it's problematic on people's behalf as well as the government behalf as well. The problem of government is that they don't create opportunities for Sanskrit learners, for example proper jobs, or that kind of thing. So people don't find opportunity in it to sustain their livelihood. That's the government part of the problem. The people part of the problem is that obviously I have to be rude, but the people have been imperialized by constant colonization so much that they tend to feel that they tend to feel the inferiority of their culture. That's the basic fact that they
But this is the
don't.
problem. This is, I'm sorry for interrupting, but this is the problem. Also, because we've been conquered by the same people, and before that, my people were, I think that this is why this is so important to us, because my people were slaves in Africa, and after that, our temple, the Roman destroyed our temple and they stole us and sold us as slaves in Europe. This is why, by the way, when people call me a white person, I'm getting so annoyed, because it's just like, to call me by the name of the people who were kidnapped me and sold me as slaves, me and my people. I'm just like, no. But this is why I'm always saying, just like, be like, study about who you are, and don't like and I'm sorry, I understand what you're saying about the government. I studied about your government. However, I do not accept the fact that, just like, to blame the government for things, like, even in Israel, people always ask me, why is Israel so big in high tech and stuff? It's because, for a person, if a person does not have a job, he creates one. He creates companies. So you need to create um things that are only, not only, but just like more important in to people who speak Sanskrit. Just like, create, you can create things around it. Just like, don't, because it's easy to sit and blame. If I were just sitting and blaming my uprising and my family, my stuff, like, it's not gonna help you in the long run. Go ahead.
And that's what has been changing, for a couple of period of time, that people are, one of the best things that happening in India right now, that people are representing themselves. For example, people are saying that okay, we don't have the our writers, we don't have our writers, the writers that are there aren't representing us. So the people are choosing the writers from themselves, the people are choosing the actors from themselves. Even if you look back at the movie that has been just recently released, the Kashmir Files, all those actors aren't so popular actors or something. They have been they have been raised from among the local folks, which weren't so popular or famous. So this is something very good happening in India here, is that people are, they have determination that now we have to represent ourselves regardless of the government or whatsoever, or international. One of the comedy things that recently happened here is what certain people, they put a flashcard in the American embassy here in Delhi, that India, do stop bullying India. India won't listen to you. That was quite funny fact, and they were searching for who is this people who have put it. So there is public sentiment, and you can say a kind of rising renaissance in India, and that's quite good. With time, we may develop like a lot of good things are also happening. I won't say that they are not happening. For example. Uh, but for example, like people have started to read, most people on their own behalf, nobody is telling them, but they have started to read their scriptures, they have started to you know read their past. And it's important because it's making India more united, and it's making people more united, for the very fact that we have the same past, same culture, and also for the very fact that since so much of diversity is there among us as well, so people have started to appreciate, they have started to appreciate the different shades of colors that we have. But the problem ultimately that I feel personally, that remains, is that India is too much of diverse. For example, in my own area, if I say, like you talk about Uttarakhand is not just one people. It is, I would tell you, it has Garhwali people, it has Kumaoni people, it has Gorkhali people, it has Bhutia people, it has Tibetans as well. So it's quite diverse, very diverse, and with diversity come diversity of culture. So uh, for example, if I say, if the somebody says that Sanskrit should be a legalized language in India, it should be the language of India because it was the language of ancient India. It would create a lot of, you can say, kind of, it would not fill in all the colors in one box. That's the particular reason that so much can't be done. But it is, I can tell you that the most important thing is knowing about Sanskrit. So like I can speak three languages. I can speak Gadwali, I can speak Hindi, I can speak English, and a little bit of Punjabi too. But I know I can speak Sanskrit to a certain extent. When it is about the hymns, it is about the hymns or certain texts, I can speak them and I know them. And that's not because I have learned them on my own, but because I have listened to them throughout my childhood from my grandparents, from grandparents. And so from them I have came to learn about the stories in the text scriptures, etc. So that's very essential. And the problem today is that most of the people of our age, teenage, adolescence age, they don't generally spend too much time with their grandparents. They're like quite on their own world, among their own community, with their own things. So it's essential as well as to spend time with your grandparents, trying to learn from them about their culture, because they have a huge experience, huge knowledge. And it is so that's also form an important part to know about your culture. uh, so that's it. What can I say?
No, I think it's really important to to have a communication with the elderly people and to try to preserve your history before you just like before all the history is racing and stuff. And we lost. I know we even lost so many things on the way.
Like
Yeah, go ahead.
recently, like I'm a literature student, so I continue to read literature. So I was reading, the British literature. So you can like I can see through it how, like, any person who is a critic can see through it how these imperial powers have kind of manipulated the very language which they made fundamental for most of the countries. You are blessed that it is not yours. You speak Hebrew, generally all of your people. But for countries like Asia, which includes, like, for my country, India or Pakistan or Bangladesh, or and even Bangladesh speak less English. So these countries where English became kind of a fundamental language, so the whole manipulated concept of language also start embedding in them. For example, if we when we read Shakespeare, it's talked about Shylock, which is a very famous character. So you or we talk about Marlowe's Jew of Malta. So here we see, from that perspective, at that medieval era of time, how the Britishers dehumanized the Jews, how they started dehumanizing the Jews, which ultimately led to the massacres. For example, in York, old York massacres and all those massacres. So we see how
Sometimes, yeah.
political use of language has been done. And it is essential, to put your native language first. For example, what we can do is, if we can't like uh, say regain Sanskrit, we can we can prioritize Hindi and Tamil both. It's not a problem. Like, I being a North Indian, if I can speak Hindi naturally, there is no problem for me to learn Tamil. I can learn Tamil. It's not a problem. And for someone who is from southern India who speaks Tamil, although there are other languages as well, Kannada, Malayali, and etc. But to say we can learn their languages, they can learn our languages. It's not that much different. These days everything is available on YouTube and etc. Those who can learn, really want to learn, they can learn. So we can do that. It's not a problem. But it is essential to break the this English context, this English identity. It's very dangerous cause. The very fact of English identity is very divisive, and it's very dangerous for any country, not just India, for any Southeast country. And that the Chinese have been very intelligent about this. Though the China was also colonized by the British, but they don't speak English. They speak in Chinese only, in their own tongue only. And that's quite something, and
By
that's
the way,
something.
this is also, I'm sorry to interrupt, this is also the reason why we are also speaking in English because of the colonizing and all the things. In Israel, we speak majority like English is one of the main languages. However, most of us are communicating and speaking on a daily basic Hebrew and Arabic because those are the people who are here, and we've been forced, both of us, Jews and Arabs, been forced to speak English. It's like if you don't speak English, it's like what are you doing? This is how the
uh, I I
but
would
this
like
is
to tell
another
you.
thing. We fight here. The Jews and the Arabs fought here for their own languages, and this is why you can go to Israel. When you're gonna go to Israel, you'll be able to communicate with us in English. However, you will hear a lot of Hebrew and Arabic in the street because those are our languages, and like it was a big struggle and fight to preserve them.
I would tell everybody that I am a hoodoo. That's first I will try to tell people. So, like, yeah, that's the thing, no? Like, the importance of language is very essential because, uh, one of the, if I would say, one of the, you strategically something qualifying thing that the Britishers or the colonial powers did was to establish their language as a central language. For example, why not Hebrew is the central language of the world? Why do people not talk in Hebrew all over the world? Or why
Oh,
not in
I'm
Hindi?
totally okay with people are not using my
You
language
know,
because
no,
we converse like Hebrew is a holy language for us. And when people are just like disrespect it or using, foul languages in this, it's like it's a problem. So
what
we're
I'm
we're
trying
cool with us.
what I am trying to say is that the colonial powers were able to, put their language into other countries, shape their other countries on the basis of their language. And with the help of that, they were able to shape the identities of other countries on the level of other languages. For example, like, if I can say, and again being rude, if an India would try to an Indian, generally an Indian, normal Indian would try to try to level match the English. He wants to be English. He wants to speak fluent English. He wants to learn about their culture and etc. But why not the English trying to English person? Why not someone who is from British? He tries to copy Indian. Why is not Indian? Or for the matter of fact, even Israeli. Why is not trying to be Israeli? The problem is that they have a, they were very clever about that. They wanted to, if they wanted to rule, they burdened us with this. But it is on our own part as well that we can shift it. For example, of your country as well, like Israel, most of the European countries, they are, they want to enhance their abilities from you, which is again a kind of a prideful thing because
First of
of the
all, just
past.
like very, very important to clarify, Israel is in Asia. I mean, I know we're in the Eurovision,
South,
however, we're
yeah,
not
the
in we're not in
Middle,
Europe.
I know Middle East.
Middle East. Yeah, exactly.
Middle East. So it's like that. And one thing, I have like, it's very good that these days people, like, for example, you and I are talking, and these days people can talk together. Cause one thing I noticed was, while I was watching the videos of Jerusalem was, is that the wall where they put the wishes in Jerusalem, the holy wall where which they put in wishes, you know, is it in
Yeah.
Jerusalem?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is
So
in Jerusalem. This is super important to clarify. Why is that place is holy? This is right now the only thing that remained from our temple, and this is not even our temple. It used to be, like a wall that is like before when you enter next to the temple. It's not even a part of the temple. However, this is the only thing we have left. This is why it is holy, and you know
uh,
the
so
peaceful religion is not letting us
there is
dig.
there is quite a similarity among the, small lanes, those that in Jerusalem city, that it's quite similar to the lanes in Varanasi. So you know it kinds of, when you look at these similar features like the lanes, the architecture, the faith, like, when I was it's like there is a kind of a theory of collective unconscious. Like, people don't really these days believe in this thing, but I believe that all human beings, no matter from which part of the world they are, they have a common past and a common period of experience in the past. For example, in our culture, like, there is a sacred river, they call it Baitarni, you know whereas there is a another river which is quite sacred in the Western cultures, which this is, it's called Sphinx, or what they call it, I don't remember particularly, but it's called Sphinx or something like that. So there are quite similar things which the mankind have evolved. So, but with time it got changed. Certain people believe something, certain people believe something. But in the end, it's always good to study somebody's culture, try to know what the people in that part of the world live, how, what their culture is, try to communicate with them. The joy of life is, I believe, that only. I love to travel a lot, though I haven't traveled a lot, but I love to travel and know other
I think
cultures
you're
as
breaking up a little bit.
well. I said that I love to travel a lot and love to know the other cultures, people, language. I love to know the language. If you can remember, I once I I put a message, when there was a kind of a a certain thing going around Israel Palestine. There was a kind of thing when you
We're
search it.
not talking about that. I'm sorry. We're not
Oh,
talking about the Israeli-Palestinian thing because it is
no, no.
not
I
something we
spoke in
can
Hebrew. I am saying.
cover.
I sent you a message in Hebrew. I am saying that at that time,
Oh, okay.
and you posted it on two, I think. So I learned a bit of Hebrew.
I
What do
Oh,
you call
yeah,
covering in
that is
Israel?
awesome.
Like
What do I
I
call what?
remember covering. Can I
Chaverim?
covering?
Chaverim.
Yeah.
Okay, chaverim mean friends.
Okay. And Shelly?
If that is what you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Shelly,
Shelly.
mine.
Uh,
So it's chaverim
it was
Shelly, my
it.
friends.
Yeah, it was like Shelly Israel covering Toda al Izret ka. So I remember kind of
It's
that.
so weird for me when people are actually studying my language and when people are speaking my language. It's kind of weird for
Um,
me. However, it is pretty interesting.
yeah, it was like Shelly Israel covering Toda al Izret ka. Yater Maipam Shel Magifat. Sheslo Hurus Khai Yomehum.
I am
Shelanu Be.
really, this is really impressive, I have to say. Like, really
Yeah.
impressive.
It's kind of hobby for me. I love to quite study the languages, cultures, know about the people, culture,
Yeah, it is
food,
really
cuisine. I am
important to learn about
also
Peter.
interested about the cuisine. Like people have different type of cuisines, you know.
Yeah,
So
food is
it's quite
important.
nice.
Learn about people, food is great. Anyway, any last words before setting you free?
Um, I would hope for some peaceful days, happy days with chocolates and beers and traveling through nature for everyone.
Oh, nice. I like it. I don't really drink alcohol. However, I do like what you just said. Yeah, so
Okay.
thank you so much for joining this live stream.
Bye. Take
And
care.
take care. Goodbye. I love it when you guys just like I like I always say, if you want to learn a different language, you can learn. Like I love it when you study Hebrew. It's absolutely like it's amazing. However, you don't need to. It's totally okay if you study something else. It is totally cool. Yeah, let's bring out the next person. Rabia, you're on this that I'm talking to. Wave to the camera if you are. Ravi. Great. One,
Yeah.
two, three. Hello.
Hey, what's up?
Fine, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I think so. I joined the last stream as well
Mm-hmm.
in February. Yeah, in March for first week, I guess.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just like I haven't had enough time to create live stream and, let you shine a
Sure.
little bit more because live.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. We have to manage ourselves and other things as well.
Yeah.
So, like any particular thing that you, some question that you want to ask, because
I
last time I like spoke a lot.
No, first of all, speak, dude. This is the whole point of this live stream is to create a community. And if you are talking, it's a better way for people to get to know you, and be your friends. I'm like, are you practicing Hinduism? Like, are you a Hindu or are you a
Yeah.
from a different? Okay, so I'd love to hear what you did 2 days ago. Like, have you celebrated the New Year? Have like, didn't you? What have you
Like
done?
it's it's a new year for like you can say that like the Marathi New Year. So
Mm.
majorly in Maharashtra, but I'm not really sure because I'm not really like like an ardent follower or something.
No,
So
it's
that's
okay.
why, yeah. So that's from my side, and like in general also like just basic festivals like Holi, Diwali, and others I celebrate like, but otherwise like mostly like from the past 5 years or so I was like away from my family only, working or studying in college. So
Oh.
usually just used to like celebrate with my friends and all. It's not
Well,
really
it's
like
another good
practicing
thing.
religion.
No,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
okay.
yeah,
As long as your heart is in the right place, it's totally okay and it's all good.
yeah. And that's what I like about Hinduism, that you just don't need to follow anyone, and like you can pick any god, you can pick not to choose so and so. Yeah, that's really cool.
This is really interesting because this is really different from my, way of life and my religion. So it's kind
Yeah,
of it's kind of cool that you have like a lot of options inside that.
Yeah, that's really something that I'm like proud of my religion, even though like I don't follow some things, but
Mhm.
as a country, not just as a country, but uh, the religion, like we have so much freedom compared to like other religions, I would say that. And
Compared to us, yeah.
yeah. Yeah, but of course it's a personal preference, and I'm sure like every religion has some like teachings which are good, which promote peace and harmony, and then there are some downsides as well. So yeah, which with evolution we try to fix it ourselves. Like if there are some certain practices which are there, which are not really, or which are basically like obsolete, so we try to remove them, or maybe get a like a different uh, practice instead of them. So, okay, all right. So, first question that I would like to ask is like, so have you seen Kashmir Files?
I have seen parts of it, and like I said, I actually made a reaction video about it, and then a conversation video about it because I love talking about stuff, and I also talked to two people from Kashmir in one of the live streams. Um, Let me tell you exactly why I don't want to see the entire video of the Kashmir Files. For people who are not living like me, for people who are not actually suffering from terrorists, this can just be, oh, it's a very important. I'm not saying it's not important. Go watch, everyone, watch the Kashmir Files. It is important. However, for me, to like I'm always saying, I love to watch more comedy and stuff because tourists and stuff, I don't need to watch the Kashmir Files. I can just literally go outside. And if you follow my Instagram account, I actually a few days no, actually a day after a terror attack, in a place I am usually doing my morning walks and stuff, and I walk there all the time. There was a terror attack there, and a day after that, I just like made a live stream on Instagram where I literally showed you me walking in the same spot and shows you exactly this is what happened. So it is for me, it's different. I
Yeah,
mean,
totally
when
understand.
people like to hear people screaming about jihad and stuff, I see it on my streets. So it is not like people are telling me you have to watch it, it's incredible and stuff. And I'm just like, listen, I understand it's important for you. However, this is my reality. And I don't want to put myself like on my free time when I'm not scared from terror attacks. I don't want to be thinking about terror attacks. I'm like I said, if for a person who does not, every person who does not scared of a terror attack, every person who is just like freely going on the bus is and not his eyes are not already like looking around in the bus looking for someone suspicious with like if it's a hot day, if a person is wearing a coat and stuff and like this, it's not like
Yeah,
immediately
for
scares
most
him.
people, yeah, for most
Yeah,
people, it's like just daily news, and especially countries which have no such issues, or have
yeah.
very like rarely they see such cases.
And I'm sorry to
But
say, like people from Barat, I'm sorry for interrupting. However, people of Barat always say Hindus and Jewish people in India and Israel are suffering the same thing, the same problem with terrorists and stuff. And I'm always just like trying to bite my lips, but I'm always blabbing. So here I am saying it to the world. I'm sorry, but we are not alike. Like the people from Kashmir, they understand my pain, and the people like I understand theirs and stuff.
and
However,
in
if someone is from Goa, what are the odds that you're gonna get like what are the odds that someone's gonna enter your home and murder every person in that house just because you are a Hindu? This is
yes,
something
in
that happened here in Itamal. Like,
Yeah, just to like continue forward your point, like even in Kashmir, there is the Kashmir Valley, which is like more susceptible to these attacks, and so they are most of the attacks they happen there. And like previously, like 10 years ago, there were attacks in one of our major cities, Mumbai. So people have seen it time and again, but of course, not everyone in India, not every city or every state will say that yes, we have experienced. So, but
are you talking about what happened
if
in Mumbai on the 26th of 11?
26/11, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So I can like name 20 such events like that. The Delhi blast, Mumbai blasts, some events in Punjab. Punjab is especially, which is a border state. So there's a lot of, narcotics issue, and those things which, like, historically they are very susceptible to those attacks from Pakistan.
Hmm.
And so it's not as if like just the people of Kashmir see it that way, but yeah, we just to bring out commonalities, we try to, some people might try to say that yes, we are together in this. But if you not everyone knows how it what's the feeling of like when a terrorist is roaming around you, or you are roaming to that place where the terrorists were. So, and like precisely that's what the point has been for Kashmiri Files as well. Apart from bringing out the story of those people whose stories were not heard for like past 32 years, the Kashmiri Pandits. So it's the point that the movie is trying to make is that you know it's not trying to entertain you or educate you through that. It's just giving you an emotional upheaval that these things happen and you didn't even knew. And so it's with all the incidents and all the horrifying gruesome details and visuals, it's just trying to depict that uh, it's just forcing you to watch these things and feel that how I didn't know about this. So it's a way of, you can say, um, because such a big exodus happened in our country and people were not informed about it. The media was nowhere to you know to find, and they were not informing us. The government had the responsibility to tackle the situation, but at that point there was a coalition government which was like really weak. It was not one of the like major parties. It was not there. Congress was not there in that government. So the new government, they were like not really experienced how to tackle these law and order situations. So as a result, they you know with the decisions that they took, it was clear that they don't know how to manage the situation. And even after that, you can say that for the past 30 years, and now like we are in a pretty stable condition as a country, and the Kashmir Valley is also pretty stable from like those times. But still, we don't know it because like some hidden agenda is there in our country which flows parallel to you know uh, like the uh, uh, general feeling that we have. And that's the thing that we can keep discussing about who's left and who's right and who's whatnot. But the fact is, and there's also one good point about it, that people try to compare India's politics like with the US lens, that there is a left, then there is a right, and they both try to bring out
Where in the
politics
USA?
in
In the
India.
USA, like, are you talking about
In
India or the like?
No, what I'm saying is that in India, people try to
Mhm.
see Indian politics in the way of like the US politics works. Like in US,
But
there is just
why?
two parties.
This is so,
Because
it's always driving me crazy. Like, why people always look at the most damaged country, the only country that I have no idea why, like, the USA keep telling everyone they are the best country, and people just like believe them. The USA is a terrible place, and their politic is not good. Like,
see
stop
that's what
comparing yourself. Like,
that's what propaganda does to you.
yeah, but here's
That's
the
exactly
thing.
how.
You can just like think for yourself. Let's just like, what do you know about the USA? Do you know what the majority of people dying in the USA from? Try to guess. It is ridiculous, by the way.
um, Accidents or
Nope.
like road traffic.
Diabetes. Those people, the only
Yeah,
thing that those people are doing, it's diabetes and children dying for school shooting. How messed up is this place? This is like the most ridiculous place in the
yeah.
entire world. They claim themselves like the people who are like owning the entire world. Creates like, those people don't
They
even
even
have
have like
a health
homeless
care.
people.
They have a bunch
Yeah,
of homeless and you know what's crazy? You know how
yeah.
much an ambulance costs there? Like, you will not if you are sick, most people rather die than to
If
go
you
to a
don't have an
hospital because they
insurance, then
don't
you
have.
are like literally
How
done.
messed up is this country, and why, when people are comparing themselves to the USA, they're not saying, oh, hold on, my life is better. Hey, I'm from Israel. I have terror attacks outside my door, and I can say I'd rather live here than to live in the USA. Because those people also, like, this is absolutely insane. I hate the fact when people are always comparing,
I have
like,
a
stop comparing yourself to USA, and if you are comparing yourself, compare how much you are better. That's like
Yeah.
my point. That's it.
And there's a very interesting story I was reading in an article. There's one website called Scientific American,
Hmm.
and it's really like top notch when it comes to scientific articles and some historical artifacts as well. So in that they mentioned that like right after the World War II, US made a document, made a plan that we'll be using Hollywood as a as a tool to empower, build our soft power in the uh, in throughout the world, like in not just in Europe but in third world countries as well. So what?
Fine.
Sorry.
It's like I can understand why people are trying to
So
change the narrative. Here, look at me. My channel is the channel who is trying to change the narrative.
yeah,
I don't have enough money. Like I don't have money. Like
yeah. So
Hollywood and
so
stuff. But
the answer to your question is this: like why people always uh, give the example of US, give all what USA does better, and even there's a fun fact that our the road transport minister, he has in his office like the quote of John F. Kennedy, that like America is not American roads are not good because America is rich. uh, America is rich because American roads are good. So basically saying that the infrastructure is really important rather than the country is rich because the infrastructure is good. So the thing is that we have our constitution has been taken from all the different countries, including USA, from Germany, Italy. So we have combined all the region, and that's why it's like one of the longest constitutions in the world. So, see, the thing is that with the limited resources and the limited, we had to, after independence, we had to do some fundamentals correct really soon without wasting a time, because otherwise, if there was no central power or a central government functioning like a democracy, then we would have been like all the states and other districts and all, they would have simply like it would not be like a united India if we did not promise a bright future for them as well, that these are the things, this is what our plan is, and this is how the constitution will work. So we had a proper like constituent assembly which comprised of the the 10 most or the 20 most like innovative people of our like in the 19th century of India, basically like from low caste people who are who studied abroad and worked really hard and then came to India. So we basically so the point was that the propaganda thing that I was mentioning, like, regarding USA, we try to follow them simply because obviously they were more developed than us. So we had to take some things which they were doing right. Okay, so if let's say America, like Apple makes some good phones and they have already done the R&D over their iPhones. So obviously, some Indian brand, it will try to copy them and at least get the basics correct, which
yeah.
Apple spent thousands of billions of dollars on research.
No, but
So,
like you said, even the propaganda, they put a
but
lot
doing
of money
that,
and effort on that.
sorry, yeah, yeah.
I'm saying,
So
yeah.
so in the Hollywood, so in the Hollywood part which I was mentioning, this I think it was like a crazy figure that they they spent the some amount which was like equivalent to uh, like the GDP of Pakistan or something in that time. So like they spend that whole money just for that propaganda that you need to promote movies, and you will not show like movies where USA is like treated as a like the aggressor, or some bad things about USA. You will not try to. You will at least try to minimize them. That you will not portray the image of USA, because this is going to be seen worldwide. So and we and that's why the incidents that they have done today, everyone is blaming Russia that they are so is it
We're
okay
not
if
talking
I
about
bring?
what happened in Russia and
Yeah,
Ukraine. I'm sorry, because there are
yeah,
major
that's why I
problems between
asked
those
it before.
countries.
Yeah, yeah. So
Sorry for just like interrupting and saying nope, but like no.
yeah, yeah, totally understand. So I just say one line that US has no right to like at least morally is they have no right to preach anyone, including Russia and India. They have
Yeah,
absolutely no right. They are like the last country to say anything to India and Russia.
but I think this is the problem with like okay, their propaganda. is working, the US, and also Russia propaganda. Like every country has their own propaganda. Let's just like not just like be blind and saying Russia is amazing. Every country and every government, if you see, I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure you saw some of my videos and you know what my thoughts and feelings about every government in the entire world. Every person who is trying to get to a higher power is a person you
yeah,
need to respect but be very, very suspicious of because it is dangerous.
yeah,
This is why communities are way more important. This is why I'm trying to create a community and not just, hey, look at me and stuff like this. But what you said about the Kashmir files, I want to go back to it because it's super important. I really think every person from Baharat should watch the Kashmir Files, but more importantly, I think um, I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to put the Kashmir Files in the same category as other movies. However, the KGF movies, the RRR movies, Bahubali, all of those movies, they're
yeah,
like amazing films that I think like if you're talking about Hollywood and stuff, I think this is super important for your country to start producing them. And like, who cares what the government is thinking? Like the movie industry and and YouTubers who are creating amazing things can just continue create. And as long as you guys are supporting them, you can change the narrative and you can change the
yeah,
propaganda. And it's not irrelevant what the government is saying because the like you are like a billion people and the government is like less than a billion people, so it's going to be easier for you to go out and communicate to people and to show your truth and your reality. This is why
yeah.
I'm always telling to people like
And
if you want to
actually,
do something, support others and create on your
yes,
own.
yeah, actually, there have been like many instances, especially in the past few years, after the internet infrastructure in a country has really evolved and now come to a decent level. So basically, like on Twitter and on like many other social social networking websites, basically people are like responsively uh, responding to people who are like trying to propagate the fake things. So like recently there were some Twitter accounts which were found to be like fake. They were like reported with like people like you and me that of India that you know uh, they like simply spreading fake news and over incidences which are like really like violent and which could take like different forms which you or me would not like to see. So that's the whole agenda, and there is a like a proper system for that is working behind it. Because like even in uh, okay, again, like I just want to ask if I'm like if it's okay to like talk regarding any such religious or like the hijab issue, basically, which I'm saying, the
What are
hijab
you
ban,
talking about?
the
Islamic
hijab
people?
ban in India,
Oh,
which recently,
I
are you aware
okay.
of it?
Yeah, I heard it. However, I saw people like I saw women in India wearing a hijab, so I'm just like, okay. In Israel, people can wear whatever the hell they want, hijab, burqa, like this.
Yeah.
It's all as long as
So
it's not a problem with the family because families are murdering. They have a lot of
yeah.
problems in that
So
honor
one
killing.
quick question.
Yeah, sure,
Yeah. In your schools and in your primary schools, is hijab and other religious dresses, are they allowed?
of course.
Okay,
Of course.
because like you
But this
don't.
is very important for me to clarify. I grew up in an or like a religious place and in
Okay,
religious home. So I grew up inside of the religious, like the Jewish schools and stuff. I have Muslims and Christian friends from,
okay.
neighborhood streets and stuff like this. However, I did not learn with them. And they studied in their Christians and Muslim schools. Like
So this
everyone
might
has their
actually be
own.
the difference. Yeah,
Maybe.
because like in India, except for some religious schools, in most of the schools which are affiliated to the central government and like the state government, basically we have a rule
No,
that
in segregation schools, everyone can wear whatever they want.
no, we don't
I
have
think
it
this
like
is
that.
a problematic when you're telling people you don't wear your headscarf. This is super problematic.
Actually, like
Like it.
uh, this is for all religions in our country. Actually, see, I'll tell you the reason behind it and the philosophy behind it. I'll tell you because this might seem like a foreign concept, but in our
Mm.
if we say, because we have a law that there has to be like the same uniform for everybody in our school. So no one someone is in like the higher grade, someone might be in a smaller grade, or they might be from any religion or any uh, caste or whatever, or sex, you can whatever distinction you want to build up, they have to wear like the same clothing, the same colors, and just to show that, just to give that feeling that we are like studying in a unity, that we are working as one people, as one country. And
I
now
understand that. However, I don't like I understand the point of uniform. I can say that sometimes I really wanted to have a uniform, especially when I saw, TV shows about, schools with
yeah.
uniform. It looks cool and stuff. However, can you honestly tell me that your teachers in your school are not sometimes throwing their Hindu something about Hindu culture, or women are not wearing sari or stuff like this? Can you honestly say no one is showing any type of religion? No one is even saying thank God. No one is even saying Jesus Christ. No one's talking about any of the gods. There is like
Zero.
zero.
No one.
God is not
Zero.
like, this is an atheist school.
uh,
Okay,
we like
it's kind of weird for me to grow
I'll,
like as a person who grew up in a super religious place.
I'll just try to clarify it, like to make it more reasonable to you,
Hmm.
I guess. So basically, like let's say that scenario that, from tomorrow there is no uniform and everybody, like, they can wear whatever they want to. So for the first thing that will happen is that the rich, they will like wear all the, like the fancy dresses and all, and they will be like so what it will create is that divide between those people, that they will always, the poor people, they will always see them and they feel like, we are very unfortunate, and you know all
Like how
sorts of
people look at the
thinking.
USA and think bad about themselves, even though the USA is a messed up country. Like I understand what you're
um
saying, but like do you understand that
yeah,
like the only reason something is a
I
brand
do.
is because you look at it as a brand. If I'm gonna see someone who's wearing
See,
Louis Vuitton, I'm gonna say, oh,
you
this
can
is
explain that
fine.
to me. You can explain that to me, or maybe a 30-year-old guy, but you cannot explain that to a 10-year-old guy or a 12-year-old guy in school. So
Yeah,
the thing
I
is that
understand what you're
from,
saying.
childhood, you don't want to promote things like, there are some rich people who are very fortunate, who and you are unfortunate compared to them. And then also, like, apart from it, uh, they if people try to it's applicable for Hindus as well, Hindus, Christians, and Sikhs, that you cannot wear your like like uh, the one exception is the Sikhs, because in their religion it's like mandatory to have those five things, which is like a
A
turban and
woman has to wear hijab in if she's Muslim, if she's believe like if she's Jewish, she has to wear a hijab. This is not something that is just like sometimes I'm feeling like I'm gonna wear. No, this is a problem. So if you're letting Sikh people have their religion, and I cannot believe I'm just like standing and like fighting in the name of Islam. However, this is like this is weird
see
for me at least.
so yeah, I totally understand, because our environments are really different, and like, so the one thing, I have just one thing to say, because like I'm not really knowledgeable about the hijab tradition and how prevalent it is, and how if it's an essential practice. So, but I would just quote one statement which the high court, the like the topmost court of our of one state of India, that's Karnataka, where this issue was present, this hijab issue. So they said that now I'm just quoting it. So they said that hijab is not an essential practice of Islam, and so
Can I just
it's
ask one thing? Who was in this court? Was that a man or a woman who said like it's not
it was a
mandatory?
it was like the I don't exactly remember it, because it was the like the judgment that came, and there was a parliamentary committee of some sorts formed, which was like comprising of some people, but I'm not really sure like what gender they or what beliefs they were having. And I'm really I'm sure they must be like from all religions, but from all genders I'm not really sure.
I'm pretty sure it's not,
But
but
trust me, yeah, but trust me on this part, that if the high court has said no, then there's absolutely no chance that it will be followed in like in any other schools,
no, I
at least
understand.
in that
However,
state.
it is Israel is a very religious country for Judaism, for Islam, and for Christianity. This is why the majority of people who lives here are people who their beliefs is strong, and we have to learn a lot about each other religions and stuff. This is why, maybe this is why, because Bahat is not one of the most holiest place to Islam. This is like people can look at it and say it's not mandatory, and women can
No, no, no.
say,
You
oh,
you
the
are getting.
judge said no. However, it is like it's this is something that will never be able to pass here, because I mean, I hear this and I'm just like, and even though that religion is the one who's creating so many terror attacks here right now, I am just like, this is so frustrating to hear that they cannot practice a
So,
peaceful thing
so
as wearing something.
I'll just tell one thing that, like, apart from your country, I'm not really sure how, the minorities, how they are treated, like how much, what's the
Equal
degree of freedom
citizens.
that we are getting. Yeah,
Equal citizens have
that's
the
really great.
entire rights.
Yeah. So what I'll tell you is that in India, when you compare it to countries which have, which are like based upon a certain religion in the Middle East and Pakistan also. So you can see the situation there as well. Now I'm trying to be like really blunt, that when you compare to the situation of Muslims in those states and the situation of Muslims in India, you know they're very fortunate to live in India also. But I'm not comparing to Israel, I'm just comparing to like the Middle Eastern countries and others, because I'll just give you like a quick data which I have regarding like Pakistan and India. So like during 1947, during our independence, the Hindu population in Pakistan, I think so, it was around uh, 10 to 15%. I'm not really sure. I don't remember it, but it was in double digits. And today it's like 1 or 2% maximum. Due to all atrocities and other things, inequality, some of them fled to India or other countries, USA or Canada maybe. So due to that, the population really like it's almost just finished. They are like minority within a minority. So, and on the opposite, if you see in India, there were, I think so, 9%, around 8 to 9%, yeah. And today they are like 14%. So this is just a metric. I'm not saying that this necessarily translates to the way of living or like the what status they have in India. I'm not saying that, but this just shows this data alone shows that you know how we treat our minorities when compared to other religions as well, other countries as well, because in for a very long time, I think so, in Middle East or in most of the countries in Middle East, there was like you could not set up like a temple. You were not allowed to like set up a temple and pray there. As a Hindu, if you were to do that, then you would do it inside your home, inside your uh, private property. So
If it
so I
makes you feel
always.
better, we're not allowed to build our temple, and this is the state of Israel. Like the honestly, the state of the kingdom of Jordan is ruling the El Aqsa Mosque, where people are assuming Israel is ruling, and we're not allowed to build our temple there. So I can feel your pain when we're talking about the fact that I cannot worship and build the
Yeah.
temple, the only temple, one. We just wanted one, not a lot of temples to a lot of God. One temple to one God, and we're not allowed to do that.
So in essence, basically, all I was trying to say was that uh, we know how to treat our minorities, and we give everyone the kind of freedom that they deserve, like the same that we have. Okay. But you one or two incidents in like once in a while, you will see that, and India is a very large country, you will see that happening. And sometimes they are also motivated, like politically motivated. They try to portray a certain India as a country which is like not safe for women, a country which is not safe for like the Muslims or other minorities. But if they weren't safe, then you know the way the life that they live here, they would not be living the same. They would not have you know like grown. The population would not have grown so much,
Hold on, I'm
and
sorry
they.
to interrupt about what you just said, because this is actually a problem in Bharat, and this is a problem that a lot of women that traveled from Israel are also mentioning. And this is
Okay.
one thing that is easily can change with the fact that men can just like keep their hands to themselves, because this is a big problem in Bharat, the fact that men are do not appreciate and don't respect female travelers or female in general. And this is Like, I'm sorry, but this is a problem. I know Israel has a problem, but this is also a
Yeah,
major problem. So, like, and this is something
yeah,
you can change, but just like keeping your heads to yourselves. I'm not saying
yeah,
you. I'm sure you're
definitely.
a nice person and your mama raised you right. I hope so.
Yeah, I know the context that you're saying,
Yeah.
and I definitely feel that on that part, there's still uh, a lot of work that has to be done in India. No questions regarding that, but also some of the factors which come there. I'm not justifying or anything, but the things that if you are born and brought up like that, like getting a proper like sex education and other things, then you'll this will not be something which will be new or something awkward to you. And this is just one aspect of it. I'm not trying to like go on detail because it will just we'll just divulge
No,
from
it's
the
okay.
area,
You don't need
but
to make
something
up
that we need to work
excuses
on,
for a
definitely.
rapist. It's okay. I don't expect you to do that. Don't do that. It's all good. Um, yeah.
Yeah, so what was the last point that I was saying? Something regarding
You
the
were
freedom
saying
aspect.
about the fact that the temple that you will have to make a temple in your own
Yeah,
house and not outside.
yeah, yeah. So basically, like, so Muslims are like the minority in our country, and who was the greatest like the science leader, or you can say the like the scientist in our country. Do you have any idea, or have you heard the name of APJ Abdul Kalam?
It sounds familiar because I seen a lot of videos from, I'm not sure, maybe Abdicheva mentioned him
Okay,
sometimes because I
yeah.
like I watch sometimes his videos and he's also talking about science and stuff.
Yeah. So like he was such a like a great guy. He's no more, RIP. And so he even has a like a date dedicated to him in Switzerland, because on that day I think so uh, he gave a speech in the European Parliament, and it was like they some of the people that were in the news and speaking, they said that they are really fortunate that in Switzerland, Mr. APJ Abdul Kalam, he came. And just because like due to him, like we India today is building uh, like all the technological advancements, maybe like the missiles or the ISRO that you must have like seen some videos of it. So all India is going to Mars, and India has built like its own like the rover mission and other things. So it's all because of like him, and not all, but he has played like a very crucial role for that. And he was like a minority in our country. So we accepted him, and not just accepted him, we he's like a pride of our nation. We Whenever we go and we refer to him, then we say that with a high head, with a chest blown up. So just because we never considered someone who is not from a religion to be like a different to be someone who's not a brother, or not someone who we like, or maybe we don't
Just
relate
an
to.
equal person.
Yeah,
That is it.
in a sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so in all those aspects, I feel that the women aspect, we can live, we have to like do a lot more for that. But I'm sure we'll be able to do it with a proper education and other things which we need to fix. But as far as this freedom of religion aspect, I think so we are like hands down the one of the greatest countries in the world. I can say that without a doubt.
Great. Now go talk to your friends, then to go put it online and show results and stuff that will prove that your country is a great country. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
want to see more. I want to see actions. I like this. I know this is a channel of talking, but I want to see creation. I want you guys to be able to,
Yeah,
do
if enough
something
of us
great with
speak, then,
yourself.
people will get our message, definitely.
No, not just people, also you. Just like I want you to be able to say like, okay, I'm going to, do something great and then do something great and support other people who are trying. And like this is also a
Yeah,
problem where people are just like using from the terrible place USA, that people are not creating a community and supporting one another. People are just like climbing on each other trying to succeed and be, famous or whatever, and stupid things like this, instead of like creating things and doing amazing things. And I'm so happy to say that I know two amazing creators who actually also from saw this channel, but also created their own YouTube channels. I'm always like telling people about them. Go
Okay.
follow the Ignorance India and YTT. I don't remember his full channel name, but I'm always mentioning them because they saw a problem and they decided to fix it. They started to creating YouTube videos, and it's so easy. Look at me. I'm terrible at YouTube, and I still managed to somehow to get you guys to listen to me.
No,
So just
you are
like,
good. I feel that.
no, thank you. But my point is just like you can create. It is so easy right now, thanks to social media, thanks to the internet.
Yeah.
When you're sticking, and if you're supporting others, you can make things great, and you can change narratives and just like do it. That is
Yeah.
it. Nike
and
phrase.
and
Just do it.
yeah, definitely. And I'll do it. And like occasionally I do it as well, posting like a random tweet or something regarding some issue
Great.
that we are facing, and
And also
on
like
Instagram or
other
story.
people treat, like favorite, like v- do, like if you're not, it's okay if people don't want to step up and do something, but you can like to do a like on something. It's super easy, and if you can support in the most easiest way, in the most slacktivistic way, do it. Like support one another. It is super important.
And actually, like after the like since the past 3 or 4 years, like there has been like a barrage of YouTube channels, just regarding like just trying to cancel out that fake propaganda that have come up in
Great.
in the
Yeah,
Indian
there's so
YouTuber space.
many. The
So if
Jupiter
we just
project, if I
support them,
think there's so many, go support them. Yeah. Go
yeah.
anyone,
So if
everyone,
we,
go
yeah,
subscribe to everyone else's channels. Like
yeah,
do
yeah,
something.
I think so. Being more aware alone can make wonders for us, can do
Yeah,
wonders for us. And just just a like or just supporting them will and it will like just give weight to whatever comments that they are making, or whatever they are trying to, whatever propaganda that they are trying to cancel. I think so, because there has been and there is going on like a lot of propaganda and hate propaganda, especially regarding like India, due to
you can
from
change it.
many many places.
It
Yes,
is
so
super
we
easy
can
to
change it,
change it.
and with the kind of audience and with the kind of population that we have, we can definitely change it, just like China did, you know. But like for China, there is like this language barrier aspect. So we are, the other people, they not really feel connected to them in if you just consider like from day to day topics, they cannot interact due to the the firewall that China has. So those aspects are there, but in our in our case, you know the language is fine. We also speak English, and our internet is also like there's no such restrictions for that. So it's like a really good opportunity for us to for finally, like after so many years, put our version of things, which that have been misportrayed by others and other whatever
Exactly.
media groups and like individual peoples, YouTubers, etc. And
And
we
you
are
guys are
doing it.
doing an
Don't
amazing job, by the way. The Kashmir files, the silent of the
That
swastika,
alone
those
is
videos is super
yeah,
important.
yeah.
It is
For
amazing
awareness,
that you
those
managed to
movies
do
are,
that.
yeah, those movies are just good for like awareness, and they will they will create a precedent for a lot more movies that can come, uh, which have like and by the way, like the same creator has like also announced that he will be also making a movie called Delhi Files, regarding an issue which was in I think so, I'm not really sure, but there was a 1984 incidents. uh, there was a lot of riots, and also he is like actively trying to make people more aware and of these things and whatever has happened.
Great.
And
Go
of
support
course,
him.
yeah,
This is
and
super important. Go support this
absolutely,
guy. Even send him messages like, "Hey, dude, saw your video.
yeah.
Thank you
His
for doing
Instagram
this."
followers
That is
actually
it.
rose up quite a lot, like 5 or 10 times. I don't even know,
Yeah, it's not
but
about,
he's like
how
a,
many followers he has on Instagram. It's just about like also let him know you have his back. It's like it's one thing to
yeah.
have a lot of subscribers. It's a
It
whole
will give
different
power
thing
to his
to
voice.
communicate.
The followers, it will give a power, more power to his voice. If he, I'm just giving you an example. So you know Shah Rukh Khan and others, and Salman Khan. Why are
Heard
they,
about them briefly.
okay,
Yeah, it's not like they're
yeah.
big movie stars or something.
No, like in India they are not
Everyone know
outside.
who Shah Rukh Khan
Yeah,
is in Israel.
yeah.
Is a
Okay,
big thing.
That's very pleasing to hear, and like really good. So like most of the people watch Bollywood movies, like then I'd also assume, or at least occasionally once in a while.
I mean, Bollywood is not a big thing here,
Yeah.
especially because a lot of Israelis are traveling to Bharat. So, like, most of us are like, I mean, yeah, sometimes we watch Bollywood things. However, it's not a big thing here because, like,
Okay.
we see India from the eyes of tourists. We're not seeing India from the media point of views.
Yeah.
And the
So
media
so
here is
that
also people who travel to Bharat, so it's super different.
yeah, yeah. So that's how that's what that's why I mentioned that Hollywood thing, that USA tried to put. So the same thing we can do as well on a like a on a from the government side. I think so it will be like really, then it won't be like organic, because it has to be coming from the people and the individual creators who have their own liberty. Because if the government
Hmm.
takes a part of it and tries to then it will be always, there will always be a question. And tomorrow if some assertive government comes, even today's one is assertive, but if tomorrow if some other assertive government comes and they try to you know like just push their own propaganda, in some sense, then so the government and these institutions, they should always be like separate, and they should not have
There's absolutely
those
no
things.
reason for politicians to be part of something civilians are doing. No
Yep.
reason at all.
So would you justify then what USA did during the 1960s in Hollywood, when they spent like
I
billions of
think what
dollars?
the USA did back in the days was brilliant, super smart for them. Got everyone else in a lot of troubles, but it was super smart propaganda for them. And we all need to learn from them, learn what to do, we'll learn what not to do. And when we are
Yeah.
creating propaganda is just like the truth, um, do not be like them. Like, don't show all the time. Like, I can just say, honestly, and this is like the last thing I want to talk about. Fauda, I don't know if you guys have heard about Fauda. Is a Israeli TV show, a major thing. Netflix also shows this in a
Okay.
lot of countries. Fauda is talking about a group of people who are working in the higher security level and are
Yeah.
mistarvim. I don't know how to say it. They're like acting like they are radical Islamists, so they can filter in and then just like grab and manage to stop terror attacks and stuff before it happens and catch bad peoples and stuff like this. People are hurt, civilians, Jews and Arab civilians in Israel. But at the same time, on Fauda, they're also showing the enemy, the Palestinians, the Arabs, Palestinians people, and they're showing the fact that those people have homes, they have family, they also have reasons why they're doing this. In Hollywood is also always showing the bad guys at the bad guys. That is it. They don't have any other, like, they don't have personality instead, and they don't have, thoughts and feelings. They're always the bad guys. And in Israel, when we're creating the things, we're always showing like things are not black and white. It's like there's always
They
a reason behind someone's action, even if that action is to hurt other
so
people.
we yeah, so you guys, and in Indian cinema also, it's also like in some movies it's there that we try to show the background and the backdrop of how things are happening and what led to these. So and that is also very important, because you know uh, you try to build the nuance out of it. You don't just show it like a black and white, because then it will be now also, this is also one point that where like people are criticizing that Kashmir Files is showing the propaganda, it's showing the point of view of one side, the Kashmiri Pandits, and how they were treated, how badly they were, how they all the atrocities that they had to face, but not the other side, what the other people us like who like really like the other side, you'd say that they are like the terrorists and who did these things. But actually what they are saying, what some sections in our society they are saying, that that not all the people were supporting this incident, this horrific incident, the Exodus, but they were just not they were just silent. So that's a very sort of a like a weird analogy that you are saying, a weird statement, that you were just silent while all this was happening from your from your community. So your silence, when you stay silent, then you were it was just like supporting, but uh, in a silent way of supporting. because the Kashmiri Pandits, they were the minority there. So like coming back to that point that you were saying, that the nuances in the Hollywood movies, I also feel that because in the most of the Hollywood movies, and like right now some web series are coming, they are like really good and I'm watching. But in movies especially, they try to portray that superhero like feeling, and that there's one guy who's all the savior, and he's going to like solve all
Yeah,
the
I don't
problems.
really watch Marvel and DC
Yeah,
and all this stuff because
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
don't need someone to create me a
yeah,
superhero. Because like I just like I think it's like if you run of ideas of stories that happen in real life and you just plain pretend, I'm not like
yeah.
not for
Like
me.
yeah, some of my friends, and Avengers is like really popular in India. So Marvel, like MCU, Marvel Comic Universe. So basically, like people, some of my friends as well used to say back in the days, like I'm saying back in the days, I don't know, just 2 years ago, basically that why do you not watch Avengers? It's so cool. It's so good. And you are like you're just watching like some love story in Bollywood. You're so not be progressive, man. What are you doing? So
How is this progressive? You play
the
pretend that
the,
someone
the
has a
propaganda,
superpower. It's
the
just like it's
propaganda.
so. And I'm saying this as a person that we all support Gal Gadot, who is the playing Superwoman in the USA.
Yeah,
However, we all know this is play pretend. Like, and we're all like, they can do whatever they want. They can imagine whatever they want in their imagine fairies and elves and whatever.
yeah.
Fairies and elves were not even thing in their folklore, but how whatever. Um, they can do whatever they want. I just like I don't. Also, I don't appreciate what they did. Like they took the Norse mythology and they created like money out of Thor and other gods, and this is absolutely
Okay.
disrespectful. Like think what will happen if they will do um a I don't know Vishnu or Krishna, the superhero that is saving. Just like how disrespectful is that? That like there's
But
posters of him and stuff. Like what?
yeah, I'll tell you, and like in today's context, like if today there will be some people who will be really against it, and it will be like a big news, not really a big news, but it will be some news at least. But like 5 or 10 years ago, if you would say, then it would be no news. That if you are like if you go forward and then burn some pictures of Hindu gods, it will not be a news. It will be just one news story, and that's it.
Well, I'm glad to see that things are
and,
changing, but I don't want them to change in a
and in
drastic
and in
way
the
and things like this.
yeah, yeah, I also like I understand what you're referring to, and I also want the same, that not be like, don't be so radical about it. And the same thing was shown in the Kashmir files as well, that all the religious identities, they were like being destroyed, just like in earlier times. The temples and other things, they were destroyed. They're burning down the pictures and all. So and there's also one famous line from that
I'm
movie as well.
smiling
So
because it sounds super familiar, by the way. I'm not smiling to like disrespect what you're talking about. It's just like it sounds so familiar that people are just
relating.
like killing and burning and stuff. Anyway, Lenny, just like I wanna let others also join this.
Sure.
So no,
Yeah.
just like say your final thoughts and stuff because I really enjoyed talking to you.
Yeah, me too as well. And so basically what I'd like to say is that as a country, like uh, we can do a lot of the things, a lot we can achieve all the success that we, and eventually we will do, because with the kind of the growth that we are having and which is expected to have, we are going to do wonders in the next 50 years or so. And before that, will be a like a very major economy. But with all that, I also want to see like the kind of harmony that we have it, that we that people always say in their videos, they will show all the that there is the issue for women traveling and all other things. But with that, even in foreign like news media and other YouTubers, they mention that how diverse India is, and how you know so I just want it to be there, after 50 years or so. I don't want it to be like some radical country like Pakistan also. I just don't want that.
I
Peace be
understand
everywhere,
what
and
you're
that's it.
saying. However, there are some things that is easy to change the narrative about, like what we're talking about, how female travelers are the problematic where when female travelers are have to don't feel safe sometimes when they're not like with a bunch of men around them. This is something super easy, by the way. If you see someone, a woman or even a man walking in the street and some people harassing him and he's feeling uncomfortable, if you're all alone
Mm.
and you're scared, just like go and just like tell her, hey, what's up? If you need help, I'm here, let's go, it's all okay. Or do you need the
Yeah,
cops or something? And if you are with a bunch of friends, just like go and tell those people just like to go away and apologize to that female traveler
yeah.
and tell
There are
her,
a lot of ways with, you can just show that that she's not alone, and that alone
yeah.
will scare those people who are trying to, like, whatever they're doing.
Yeah, because
So
it is a major problem. I'm sorry. I like, I'm not. This is a
yeah,
nice. This is not a nice. Oh my god, I super love India. Let's just like follow, subscribe, everyone. Blah blah blah. No, I'm here to talk about problems, and this is a major
yeah.
problems.
See,
Sorry.
and that's what we want actually. That that discussing our issues, and preferably like resolving within ourselves, and with all the the feedback that we are getting from like guys and girls like you. So
Yeah.
of course, like because we'll have to see from your point of view also, because like as a tourist, as someone who is not familiar to this place, how comfortable they are, how safe they feel. Because uh, wherever you go, even in Kashmir, which is like so infamous for all the things that are going on, so they also, as a tourist, whenever you go, they are really fond of them, that they don't try to show how uh, what all things that they are facing, what all issues they have. They just so nice with the tourists. And so and that's a general thing, I think. So in
Yeah, of course. Like I'm never
at least
going
in when
to, like I'm not gonna
yeah.
tell you guys come to travel to Israel and then when I'm gonna meet you I'm
And
gonna say, let's see a terror attack. Like absolutely not. I'm not going to show you the bad things. I'm going to let you know that some bad things are happening. Um
yeah,
yeah.
but yeah, slowly and steadily, like we are also like resolving that issue. And it's just one of the issues actually. We have many issues, and like we are like discussing it with healthy debates. And I'm like also another thing that you know we that's why we that's why I value the like the value the concept of democracy, that with all the flaws that it has, and it's also like a one topic that is also like comparison. All the comparison is always made with whenever it comes to India and China, because of course, like nowadays, like it's just India versus China in news channels. If there is like one slight incident on the border or something on the global level in some UN. So there will be like they'll just start like a 1 hour episode on how like India and China, how many missiles China has, how many India has, so all this. So the thing being that with all the flaws that India has, China also has the flaws with in communism, and sort of a pseudo communism that they are following, because
Yeah, but I'm feeling like
they have
we're
find out a
entering
way.
another subject, and like I said, I don't want to, like I want to give other people the opportunity to speak. We
Yep,
can
yep,
talk about communism, socialism,
yep.
everything, all the ism you
Definitely.
want in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
next time. Okay.
Yep, yep.
But it was really,
Great.
really interesting to talk to you. And like I said, Kashmir Files is super important thing to see. However, I can just look outside of my window. I don't need to watch a movie
Yeah.
about it. Yeah.
Yeah, totally
But thank you so
understandable.
much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Take
Bye bye.
care. Bye bye. um a lot of people asking me about the Kashmir Files, and I feel like I am keep saying again and again the reason why, and not a lot of people are getting it. And this is honestly why I think you guys need to watch the Kashmir Files, because when I'm telling you, this is my reality. Like being attacked in the street, getting murdered, stuff, people are, buses exploding, children getting slaughtered in their beds. This is my reality in Israel right now. And I don't need to watch a movie to understand what is happening. I can relate to the people of Kashmir the need to um without the need to watch a movie about it, okay? And the people of Kashmir can feel to come here, and sometimes Israel is a peaceful country, come visit, it's amazing. However, sometimes problems happens, and like I just like, I'm sorry. And I also made several videos about the Kashmir Files and talking to people, so I think it is just like, let's just leave it at that. Um, unless I'm going to ask you if you ever seen any of the Israeli war videos and like and war movies, and like, you know, Israel has a lot of wars all the time, so be careful because I have a playlist. Okay, let's move on with the next person. Abhishek, you're where I'm talking to you. Wave to the camera if you are. Great. One,
One,
two,
two,
three.
three.
Hello.
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 Oh, can you
Oh,
Hello.
mute
can you
me
mute
because
me
I
because
can
I
hear
can hear
myself?
myself?
Okay. How can I do that?
I
I,
I have no
I have no
idea.
idea.
No, now you muted yourself. Try to
Try
just
to
like
just like
maybe
maybe
stop the
I will
stop
video
try
the
to
you're
video
connect
watching.
you're
my.
watching.
I'll try to connect my earphones.
Okay.
Okay.
Just a second.
No,
I'm
it's
sorry.
still.
No, it's still.
Can you just
Can
like
you just like
maybe
maybe
stop
stop
the
the
video
video
that you're
that
watching
you're
and
watching
the
and
live stream that
the
when
live
you're
stream
watching,
that when
and
you're
just
watching
like
and just
have a
like have a
conversation
conversation
and then go
and
back to
then
the
go back
video?
to the video.
Okay. Is it? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can
Yeah,
hear
I can
you,
hear you,
but I can
but
And
still
I can
hear
still hear
myself
myself
again.
again.
you can still hear yourself also. That
Okay,
is
so
a
try
Okay,
to
so
problem.
fix
try
the
to fix the
audio
audio
and I
and
will go back to you. How should you where I'm talking to? One, two, three. I heard love that you already know what to do. Okay, hi, how are you?
So I'm fine. So how is your day going on? The first thing that I would like to ask.
I'm tired. You go.
So okay, like I was really surprised when you said that America it's a horrible country. The first thing that I because I expected that since right now the USA it's probably the biggest ally to the Israel, but it's really surprising that the people in Israel they really know the reality of the USC. Since we're talking the propaganda. So one thing I would like to say that if you peddle a lie 100 times, then it becomes a truth, and this is the fact behind the propaganda which is played by the America.
Mm-hmm. But America is a big place. It has Canada, it has Chile, it has Brazil inside. We're not like it is. See, this is a
So of
part of the
course I am
propaganda.
precise.
They're calling
I'm
this
talking
stuff
about the
America.
US. Okay, USA.
Yeah, we all need to remember to change our languages and to change the way we're talking because they're not the continent. Absolutely not.
Yeah. So USA. So actually, but with time, when people they are becoming aware of the war crimes which has been done by the US, and since we were also talking about the Kashmiri genocide, so I would like to add that America had a contribution to the Kashmiri Pandit genocide. Many people don't know, but actually the thing is that like if you see around 30 years ago, 30 to 40 years, when India was a ally to the Soviet Union, which is now Russia. So that time, America supplied Pakistan with various form of arms and ammunitions, and further through Pakistan, those ammunition they reached the terrorists, and those ammunition it was used to carry out attacks against the Hindus. So many people don't know, but America has a contribution in the Hindu genocide in the Kashmir Valley. So people need to know, like where basically every time they say that for example, let's say in Sri Lanka, I think that it's a neighboring country in India. So right now they are in the state of emergency. So while India is sending 40,000 tons of fuels, China is sending some money, America is saying that you can't put an emergency, it's a violation of the human right.
Look, I America and Russia are
Yeah,
two
of course.
big countries that are just doing whatever they want and
Exactly.
thinking we all need to play by their rules. Both of those major countries. This is why I'm always saying I am not pro any government. I will not support USA nor Russia nor that. No, I'm like we're not going to talk about which country is better and stuff because like I always say I don't like geopolitics. I think people who are I'm not talking about you. I absolutely adore you and you are
Exactly.
amazing. However, geopolitical people are don't have a lot of humanity in them because they're
Exactly.
always thinking interest, and this is why they are the people who you need to be very careful if you need anyone's help because they will not help you. They will think of how they will benefit from this, and then maybe they will so just like we need to be very careful talking about other countries and stuff.
Yeah, so actually, since the benefit, so yes, it is true that it's a well-known fact that America and Russia they are making benefits from the war. For example, if you see the the various defense contractors of America, like they have Lockheed Martin and Bay Systems and Raytheon companies. If you see their stock, their overall budget, the size of the company before and after the war Afghanistan, they have skyrocketed. So in other words, like they are everybody like who is directly and indirectly contributing there, they have the bloods on their hands. So they are fueling the war in the various parts of their country so that they can continue selling their weapons.
This is the problem with every big country who is trying to take over the world.
Exactly.
And this is why I'm so happy that Israel is not one of those countries, because we have the land that, like, it's literally written in the Bible what are like the places that are holy to us. And like Bahalat is like, it's amazing place, but we're not
Exactly.
looking to
Thank
like conquer it. Russia, awesome. When it's super hot, I'm just like, I want to move to Russia because it's cold there. However, this is
Yeah.
not a holy land for us. The USA is absolutely not a holy land for us.
Yeah. Of course.
This is why, like I said, this is why big countries are dangerous.
Yeah.
That is it.
And you know one more fact, if I remember, one of the Israel's prime minister, he was assassinated. I don't know the name, but if it is true, like there is, I don't know whether it's true or not. There is a conspiracy theory that there was a time when finally peace was established between Israel and Palestine, but
No,
the
no, no.
assassination.
There's the conspiracy is that if he was still alive, there would be peace. This is absolutely nice, not the case. His name was Itzhak Rabin. Yes, he was assassinated. Yes, it was. It is terrible. However, that person is also the person who brought the Intifada, and buses were clothing, and terror was a thing in his days. And it's super easy when someone is dead to talk highly of him, because
Exactly.
it's just like we don't speak bad of the dead people. However, he did a lot of good things. However, he also did a lot of bad things, and he did absolutely 100% did not tried even to bring the peace. Something
Okay.
really,
So
really important, like when we were talking about propaganda and things like that. Just like say, oh, if those people didn't kill him, peace was happening. Like, why the Muslims will think that it is okay to Jewish people to pray next to Al Aqsa? Absolutely not. Every time someone is even mentioning Al Aqsa, people are getting slaughtered in the streets. So this is more a war about the religion and not about the lands, because the same thing is also happening in your country. So
yeah,
if it was just like people want like the land of Israel to be an Islamic state, then why do you guys also have problems in your country? Like, then why people have problems all over the world with that religion? The same thing that happened with Christianity. People
exactly.
like a religion trying to take over the world. This is again why I love Hinduism and Judaism, that are not trying to like everyone must be like us. And if someone is saying I
Yeah,
want to be Jewish, the first thing I have to do according to my religion is to tell him no, go away. So like this is just a problem. So yeah, propaganda is that people are saying he will bring the peace. Absolutely
yeah,
not true. I do understand
exactly.
why the people who are trying to promote this saying that, and especially after he dead,
Yeah.
because he cannot speak anymore.
Yeah, but slowly and silently, people has been realizing the Western propaganda. Like in the Hollywood, they will show that they will come to save the world. They like this was the image. If you would have asked an Indian that what is the first thing when you think about when you hear the word America, they would say skyscraper, and they are gonna save the world if alien invades the earth. But now when I hear the word America, I just think of a 240-pound guy eating a burger near a subway.
Yeah,
This
thank
is
you. But
this is
again,
what
not when you
everything.
hear America, USA. America is also with
Of course.
Brazil. What do you hear when you hear Brazil? Argentina. There's a lot of Nazis
Yeah,
people in
that's so
Argentina.
nice.
However, let's just
Like
look move
Brazil,
away.
Argentina. Yeah,
There's
that's so
so
nice
many
places.
other countries, so many other countries, and they just decided that they are the continent. How, just like
Yeah,
if you guys will say the world is India, and just like no one else is matter, is just like n-
yeah,
no, this is so ridiculous. This those United States are ignorance and ridiculous. So I'm just like,
The United States basically thinks that it's the police of the entire world. They will dictate people what to do and what not, and they haven't seen their past. They don't have any history of their own and nothing. And it's just like they invaded the land, like the few like ethnicities of, I would say, the Western people in the Europeans. They invaded the land, they established their colony, and they now they want to be the police of the entire world.
yeah, this here's the thing though. I wanted to create a new video about it. Maybe I will. This is another thing that is super funny about the USA. If you okay, there's a thing called the Eurovision. If you don't know what it is, I made several videos about it. Go watch because like on May, like next month, Eurovision going to happen, and I'm going to be all over Eurovision, and I'm just like obsessed with it. If you don't know what it is, Eurovision is like a war in Europe. It's just like a song contest between all the states in Europe and Israel, because we were slaves in Europe, and then we were murdered in Europe. So they
Yeah,
realize that it's like that it's okay, we're cool with them. So here's the so it's like a song contest, but it is amazing. Everything is huge, everything is with glitters, it is massive, and all the people in Europe are watching this. And the USA saw it and wanted to be part, and they said, "Hey, can we also be part of the Eurovision?" And the people of the Eurovision told them, "Absolutely not. Like
that's
you
great.
go, yeah, you're not one of us. You're not part of us. No."
Exactly.
And then America decided, the USA decided. See, I'm
Yeah.
also falling for this.
Actually,
USA
like
decided.
the word more since when we hear about America, like we generally think about USA. So more in many of the cases, I heard that the word USA, it has become synonymous to America, and America has become synonymous to
Yeah,
USA.
but this
That's
is a problem and we need to change
yeah,
it. Anyway, going back to the story about the Eurovision, because I'm always going to find a way to blab about the Eurovision because I'm obsessed with it. Um so the Eurovision people told the people of the UK, the USA, absolutely not. You're not allowed to join. And right now, the USA created their own okay, and the most important thing about Eurovision is, like you said, every person is bringing their either their language, their traditions, their folklore, like their songs, their music, and the video clips. It has something to do with the history of the country, something with the country. However, the USA are creating right now um America Song Contest. This is how they call it, of course,
yeah,
America. And they just like bring in people from the entire states in America, in the USA, and they're fighting with each other, and they're just like singing like songs and stuff. And someone actually commented that it's so nice to hear they're all singing in their native language and showing their history and past. And just because you see how fake it is, and none of them is actually have any traditions, and like
exactly.
nothing. Like, what is your native language? Oh, English, great. What is everyone else native language there? Oh, also English. It's like things.
Sorry if you
It's
can hear me. Your
so
video is has
weird.
interrupted.
If you want, everyone go watch it.
Okay, okay, yeah, it's
Oh, I'm
fine.
sorry. I'm just saying the USA are making ridiculous things.
Yeah, exactly. That's a fact. Actually, see but actually, like if you see before the invasion, the yeah, USA, it consisted of the Native Americans, and when they invaded the land, they were generally killed, they were tortured, and they have a very dark history. Like recently, I would say not this time in USA, but in Canada, mass graves were discovered in the schools that were run by the Catholic, the Vatican. Mass graves of children were discovered, and like this is how like this tells us that how cleverly, how well they have hidden what their atrocities they have done to the native people in the past. Like I just saw the pictures and it was spine chilling, I would say.
Yeah, I have a
And
friend who is like a native, who is just like actual like Native American, and he lives in one of the resorts that the people who are occupying forced him to move to. Um and like, yeah, right now, their life is like they're going to schools like everyone else and stuff, but he also said that they did like a really big job trying to, make sure the native does not have their native language and forget their history and stuff.
Exactly.
So yeah, a lot of problems. Yeah.
So yeah, that's the fact, and the world has acknowledged this. For example, if you see recently, like every country, like in India, they, recently the vaccines, the COVID vaccines, which are manufactured locally in India by the Bharat Biotech, it has been suspended by the WHO. Actually, the reason is that India was standing with Russia. So this is actually because the all the institutions, whether it's the UN or the WHO, they are puppets of the West. This clearly proves that, like UN is a big problem, I would say.
You know my thoughts about the West. Like
Yeah,
I don't think I should or need to explain because I will start blabbing about how much I don't like the West, don't like when people look at me and think I'm Western,
and the
when people
same thing
don't
I would
know
say,
that
it's
Israel
about
is in
the
the Middle
UN.
East. Mm.
Same thing about the UN, like there are various atrocities has been committed on like various sections of the people, and last month they passed a bill known as so-called the Islamophobia bill to combat Islamophobia. Like what I've seen, like every month in the country, I think Nigeria, it is in Africa, like
Yeah,
the
I know where
Boko.
Nigeria is. It's closer to me than it is closer to you, I think. Like
Yeah,
I can literally drive to Africa. This
so
is
yes,
how
in
close we
Nigeria,
are.
I would say the Boko Haram terrorists, they have been killing the Christians. Like every Christians are massacred on a huge scale since 2015, more than 16,000 Christians have been killed. But the UN, like, it doesn't care. But when
Yeah, but hold on. This is just like, first of all, I'm against Islamophobia because I don't think people are scared of, like, phobia. I mean, to be scared of something, and there's
yeah,
like, for scared of something for usually not a real reason, and this is pretty ridiculous because there is a really, like, there is a reason why people are scared of radical Islamists. However,
exactly,
when we're talking about Africa, the war between the tribes there, the Christian and the Islamic tribes, it's not just Boko Haram. There's a lot of also Christian tribes that slaughtered, because there is like this past 2 years, um what the state of Ethiopia in English is in a
yeah,
major war, crazy
yeah.
war. No one is mentioning that. Everyone is just like talking about, oh, Russia and Ukraine. However, like, there are massive religion and race wars also in Africa, and it's like something we all need to know about. This is why it's super important to get your information from a lot of different sources and to actually talk to the people who are living there.
Yeah, and yeah, I heard that, like as far as my knowledge is concerned, that there are pretty good number of Jewish people in Ethiopia, and they many of them have migrated to Israel.
Because no, hold on. The people who migrated to Israel are not Ethiopian. They're part of the 12 tribes of Judah. They're part of the Israel. They're part of the, we believe, Dan tribe. They actually
Exactly.
preserve and stuff all the things from our religion. So it's just like the Jewish people who are from Kerala or stuff like this, because,
Yeah.
or like Kuchin and all those, like, they have to be there. They had to be there because someone forced them, but then they came back home. So all the people from Ethiopia, not all the people, like all the people from the Dan tribe in Ethiopia came home. That is it. Like, they're not Ethiopians. They're
Okay. And
like,
one more thing, like I would like to add, like since the last day he was discussing about the hijab issue, the head scarf.
what
Actually the
about it?
thing is, yes. Can I continue?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so actually he was talking about the hijab, the headscarf issue. Actually, it's not about hijab. Actually, the students, they are wearing burqa, which means they can't see their like face. Just eyes are like, we can just see their eyes. So in that case, actually, it's a problem in school. For example, if they have exam and they didn't study anything, then they will send any other person. They will write the thing. They will top the exam. Now that's gonna be problematic. So actually hijab is not a problem, the head covering. The problem is that they are, it's not about hijab, they are wearing burqa, means the complete
I
face
can
cover.
understand. I can understand the burqa problem,
Yeah,
I like people are like children are cheating in tests all the time. So this is absolutely ridiculous. If any of you want I don't know cheating advice on how to cheat on tests, there is a reason why I was not that good in like in school and why I got like higher scores sometimes. I will admit it. Um yeah, but I
Yeah,
just
in
like
fact, everybody has said. In fact, let me tell you, like right now, due to the COVID, we are having our exams at home. So day before yesterday, we have exam, and my all half of my classmates we are riding at one place. Sorry, I can't hear you. I'm sorry, I can't hear you. You're not audible. Wait, let me just see once. You're not audible. If you, I can't hear you actually. Sorry, I can't hear you. Hello. Just wait for a minute. If you can hear me, just wait. I'm checking if it's a problem from my side. Okay, okay. I see, I see. Just a minute and it will be fine again. Just hold on for a minute. It will be. Yeah, hello.